Welcome back, and we're on the second episode of the show with no name, but alleged names.
Alleged.
What's up, guys? How's it going? You with me, Candice Redding, and today with episode 2, I'd like to introduce Dom Benigno. Domenico Benigno.
Oh, hello guys. How's it? Thanks for joining us.
How's it going?
Yeah, great. Oh, yeah. No comment, actually.
No, you have to comment.
We can get deep.
Before we comment, give us an introduction. Tell the world exactly who you are in your words.
Okay, guys, what can I tell you? I'm a musician. My name's Dom Benigno, Domenico. Actually, full name, Domenico Benigno. I've been in music and arts since pretty much I could walk, or as long as I can remember. I've performed with music. I've performed with plenty bands. I'm actually a pianist by profession. I studied that let's go from there. Okay. I studied piano and music after school, and excuse me if it's like all over the place, but I mean, there's so many things, but I say ideally or ultimately and on the bottom line is music, so performer, session artist, plenty different groups that I've played with. I've traveled.
Name some of the groups so people can search you.
Are we name dropping? I'm not really a name dropper, but yeah, let's say, from when we were younger, we've been performing with, let's start again, bro. It's too much, bro.
That's okay.
It's too vague.
Okay.
I'm not vague. It's too much for me to.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Let's do a clap.
Yeah. Go. Okay.
Alrighty. What's happening?
How's it?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of the show that has no name yet, because it's a work in progress. Today's guest, we have Domenico Benigno. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's lovely having you.
Even though I'm not really sure what we're doing here, as far as
the
guests
name.
And no, not even the name. Just as far as anything, really, bro.
Why would you say that?
I was just saying.
To cut again.
No, but come on. Look, we've been way too fake, bro.
Okay, no, we have to.
I can't. But I'm not a guest.
Okay, done. Okay,
do you understand?
Okay, then let's cut from the beginning. Ready?
I'm not a guest.
Final fucking cut.
Now we can try again.
What's up, everybody? You live with me? No, that's wrong. We're not live.
And baby, that's not gonna work.
Then, baby, you do it. Thank you. Alrighty. What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2. You are with me, Candice Redding, and my guest but non-guest for this week of the show that has no name yet is Domenico Benigno.
Hello, how's it? Hello, world. How's it?
Yeah, Dom, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's a complete pleasure, even though we are in my house.
Yeah. We are.
So, Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. So we're in Dom's studio, and we're just going to have a basic chat. I just want to know about you, what you're doing. I want the people out there to realize who you are. So tell us from the beginning, very casually. The beginning.
Okay, well...
who are you?
My name's Domenico Benigno, as you guys got it. Parents are obviously Italian. Or not obviously, but are Italians. That's where, hence I get the name from. Been in this place, we won't give you the exact area just in case.
Joburg.
We're in Jersey. What can I tell you guys? Music's pretty much been my thing my whole life. Music and kind of healing and just sound, really. I've always found this thing about sound and music just to really affect me as a person and affect the people around me as a person.
When did you start with music, Dom?
So it was probably influenced, as far as I can remember, around 4 or 5 years old. My dad, our dad is an artist.
Yeah, explain who your brother is.
And my brother is Rick, which I'm sure you guys might see on episode 1 or episode 3, because we're in this together. But I think it's all got to do with Dad. And when we were young, we just grew up in this beautiful space next door, where my father used to have these jam sessions, and these beautiful musicians came in, and we were so blessed to be able to go sit and watch them perform and just have a good time, Just so healing for us. And, I kind of feel that that's obviously where we were lucky enough to have that around us. So that's how it kind of started. So when there wasn't a jam session, we were in the room, the instruments were there, things were set up, we could go in and play and just experience it, which I feel like kids don't really have.
Yeah, nowadays it's
Yeah.
very rare. You know, it has to come. I feel like it's either you're into music or someone in the family's into music,
Yeah.
because the exposure is very limited.
For sure.
Talent's very limited.
For sure.
And
But I guess that's where everything started, and from there it just channeled into something else, you know. So then, yeah, after being influenced obviously by my father throughout school and stuff like that, we were very musical. Started learning instruments, getting involved with all kinds of things. Went to like 5 or 6 different teachers as a lighty, you know. Mom trying to send you to these kind of classical trained piano teachers, and which were always different, and they always had the same thing to say. Every teacher, like, dude, or saying at least to my mom. Hopefully they weren't calling my mom dude, but would have been cool if they were, because that's the kind of teacher you want, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, doing all these piano lessons our whole life. So I had basic theory from maybe primary school till like end of high school, and then just studying music after that, where I studied teaching and performance and a little bit of jazz and contemporary. So I did more or less 4 to 4.5, 5 years of music studying.
Nice.
And that's kind of
The catalyst to
that's
where it's
kind
all.
of that's the musical journey.
Okay. And tell us about your touring. Tell us about where you've been, who you've worked with. Come on, we want to know everything about Dom. Wait, back into that. Before we get into that, tell us about your aliases. Because he has
Okay.
many. It's not just Sound Language. There's a couple of others. He's in a few bands. He's traveled the world, and everyone wants to know everything.
Well, the kind of thing is, the reason you create an alias, I feel the reason you create is if you're that type of musician. You know, you're the type of musician that has very different kind of approaches. Every time you're writing something, it comes out slightly different, which is usually my kind of approach to things, you know. So obviously I've been with groups and been writing music where I needed to write something specific, or played with groups where I've needed to be specifically that sound.
Yeah.
But I used to find whenever I was chilling, or I do find it right now, whenever I'm chilling out and just writing music or just in the moment, something different kept coming out, you know. So I decided to create these aliases.
To
The
give
alias-
voice to all your
to
little
give voice to
parts.
all these things, which could be quite...
Do you think a couple of them are naughty and a couple of them are freaky?
Oh, definitely. They're all over, man. They also get created from just experiences.
Do you think
really.
it's a little bit like borderline?
Yeah, definitely.
but in music?
Multiple Yeah, definitely. Completely. And isn't that how music... I mean, it should be for an artist,
That's true.
you know? Or is it like that? I'm
I
not
mean-
really 100% sure.
I agree with your theory because I believe the same. I mean, you can't. Have you ever heard of anyone that? I mean, some people I'm sure, but that likes one genre since the time they're born till the time they die.
Yeah, I kind of... Well, this is a whole other subject, but yeah. I mean, you do get artists like that. But
Yeah,
is it focused? This is the thing. Like, do artists focus on a sound and they nurture that sound and they become that sound?
Yeah.
Or is it the other way around, you know? Does
mean-
that sound choose them, but they still nurture that?
Or is it a thing that sound chooses them through childhood nurture? Like, you know, a lot of times, like, we're young, there's songs that weren't in our time. Well, I'm speaking just for myself. Think about it. There's songs that weren't in your time, but you know everything about it. And it's because the nurture of your parents or whatever, playing
For
that
sure.
from such a young age, it kind of gets injected as an earworm.
Definitely. I mean, they do say that it's your parents' fault, we call it fault, or your parents' influence on what you grow up and the songs that you enjoy.
Yeah,
and the
I
style
think
that you enjoy.
influence, yeah. More than fault. I mean,
Sure,
it's a
but-
great fault.
But also, having said that, I don't know if many musicians... I mean, I'm not saying I don't know, I know out of experience that the musicians I do play with are very specific on their style. And I've never been that. Like, I've played with... I know you asked about the aliases. I will get to those aliases, but I've never felt different about any kind of style. Every band that I've played with or group that I've played with, whether it be... folk music, whether it be psytrance, psychedelic trance music, no matter what it is, I've always found a joy from it.
Yeah. There's
You
something
know?
that relates to you.
Yeah, and
It
it's
speaks
amazing,
to
and I
you.
enjoy it. It's not like it's not about the money, it's not about the performance. It's just I really do feel that music is it's
your
part of
thing.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a thing.
So tell us about the aliases. We're sitting here with bated breath.
Okay, well, aliases. There's different ones. I mean, it's pointless to really tell you about all of them because I'm one of those musicians that is sitting on over 100 songs with 6 different aliases who it's just unreleased. And a reason for that is a little bit of laziness, but also over and above that, since the digital era came out, I kind of struggled to make those two meet. I'm from a more analog era where we had managers and people who did things for us, and now we're in this digital era where it's
Do it
difficult
yourself.
to release. But the aliases are all very different. I don't need to give you names of them. I mean, all of them are made in very different places and areas. But I'll give you a few. There's one called Choco. There's one called Tito. There's one called Joy Borge. There's one called, obviously, Dom Benigno. There's one called Meko. There's plenty. And it's just about, for me, the aliases were more about also just putting the certain genre or maybe the time of my life when I was writing that music into kind of
an archive,
boxes,
like into like a little, like, this
and then
is
it
me
became,
musically. This was what mentally, musically, I was here.
Yeah, exactly. And
That's
then it
cool.
became a bit more exciting with, depending on where I was, I would see that alias. Let's say I was at a lake 6 or 7 months ago, and just walking up this hill and saw this beautiful surrounding, and this guy Sergio. That's another alias, Sergio, Surgio, which just came out of nowhere. I had this hoodie on and I was wearing these pink glasses, and I just took a photo of myself. I was like, dude, that's an alias, man. And Sergio kind of fit the style of music that I'd already written a couple of years ago. It's strange, and that became the alias face for Sergio.
Oh, cool.
Something completely different,
Yeah, but it takes its time. I feel like, especially with like names and stuff, right? Don't you feel like the name kind of finds you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the name
The
finds
name,
you.
the look. I mean, I think it's quite an interesting way for solo artists or multi-instrumentalists who are releasing one thing to change. It's quite a vibe, a different look, a different style of music.
Cool. Do you want to talk about any of the acts that people in South Africa know you by? With the accent, because I know that you're in a couple of groups and you're very well known here, and you've been playing for so long. Like, I remember seeing you 10 years, 12 years more, maybe 13 years ago, rocking out leather pants, total freak on the
I
keys.
still got those leathers, girl.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Crooked legs and a bunch of alcohol running down my neck. It was wild.
Stop that.
And it's so weird. Like, I'll tell a story about Dom. When I first met him, he used to play with bands as a keyboardist, right? And used to be on keys. And he used to be with like these popular bands. But funny thing is, whenever he did like a feature during a show, he would steal all the limelight, dude. And these guys had no fucking direction. It was just like, it's their group and then you, like featuring guest star. You know what I mean? And then people would think you're part of the band, and then there would be these little tangents of
Just
being like,
hired, yeah.
yo, you part of that band? Like, no, dude, it's just a side piece. But you were, I saw you. I'm like, okay, buddy, sure, but whatever. Did you have fun?
No, I mean, I love that, man. I really, really, that's, again, like one of my calling. Again, like name dropping is not really my thing.
No, but I want you to name drop because it gives people relevancy. So understand that. He's not, how humble. You're like a piece of pie, babe.
Yeah, no, it's just like, so like as early as, let's say, 42 Play was more of our original band. But after that, probably the biggest influence after that was Plush, which were a great band in the 90s. A band called the Jack Mantis Band, which we traveled all over. Another band called the Sailing Conductors, which is also worldwide. And then, of course, I've played with, the thing is, being a session musician, I've pretty much performed with everyone you can think of. Right?
So tell us who.
So, like everyone. Like, so, for example, Arno from Springbok Nude Girls. I've performed with Art from Just Ginger. I've performed with Obita, which was the young hip-hop guys. I've toured with Wyclef Jean. I was performing with him on his tour. I've performed with numerous artists, also European artists, maybe names that are not known maybe to South Africans or to the side of the world, but
Name them.
So I've performed with Hannah Bergen, who's like, she's just unbelievable, incredible artist. I've performed with Banjo Mosele, who are guys who from Zimbabwe who during the apartheid era had moved actually with Hugh Masekela and left for during that whole get out of the country vibe. them with all over the world. I performed with Yuma Sekela, all the jazz guys, Zwaimbula. I mean, but offhand, I can't really explain to you guys, but I've really performed across the board, different artists, and that's just the playing kind of side. And then as far as like performing, like the DJ thing, which I brought kind of that live thing, which, the live set too. It's like Ben Rao and Psyopus, and I mean, we've just shared stages with so many people. I hate name dropping because it kind of doesn't. It doesn't do justice.
But it
like,
doesn't do
if
justice
I had the list,
for you.
If I sat, and I've never done that, and I
Yeah.
really look forward to doing that. I've been meaning to do that, just to write each artist that has affected me in a different way that I've performed with. There's too many to just sit and tell you, you know.
So what is, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, all right, I'm going to live this rock star dream, what gives you the feel in your belly?
You see, the thing is, it's not really a rock. There's no dream of being a rock star.
You know, you embody it, babe. So
No,
you don't
yeah,
see
but this
it.
is the thing.
Yeah.
So there's no dream of being a rock star. I'm just
A rock star? I'm
No,
just
that's not what I meant.
No,
I mean is like every day you wake up, you know, and it's like what fuels you to get up. It's just when you find something that you know that you're good at, or not even know, when you see it, you know. And I've seen this my whole life. When you like just playing or just being part of music, even without studying. Before I studied, I had this little thing that no one else had.
Talent.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes you very lazy, by the way. Super lazy.
But why would you say that?
Because it does. People that are talented tend to think, like sit back and think things are going to happen for them.
I mean, there is it's a double-edged sword that it depends. Like we had this conversation prior to coming on. We were like, why is it that some people struggle and some people just embody it? I think, you know, in life, you can't just always expect something to fall in your lap, Dom. It's never going to happen.
But when it does,
But you got to take it with
and when it has,
got to take it with two hands,
but this
baby.
but this is also
Missed
this is
opportunities,
amazing.
regret.
This is like an amazing thing. It's a gift and also a curse when things fall on your lap. Because this is kind of what's happening to me my whole life, pretty much, and what I'm going through at this like point in my life.
Now
know?
with the Rona.
Yeah, because I've always been switched on and ready to work no matter what, you know. And then I would kind of make projects for myself to try and get things done, and then something else would fall into my lap, and then I would go with it because I'm that kind of person as well.
Yeah.
Not even with music, with anything really.
Yeah.
Free spirited. Let's go. Oh, it's a new project. This band wants this. I mean, also, you know, it's taken me all over the world.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you? But when that stops, which it still hasn't, things are always falling on your lap. How do you keep that balance? It's really difficult. So I have these like proper depression vibes and these proper like high vibes.
Like manic.
It's
it
manic.
comes and goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you. I think a lot of artists suffer from that because we live such extraordinary lives. You know, we've also had this discussion off camera where you live such a beautiful life and then all of a sudden you don't know where you're going, what's happening.
For sure.
I mean, the only thing we do have is music, but sometimes you need music and a couple of shows just to get that energy level back up, I feel.
For sure. But
just replenishes you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like we were talking about the talent and that kind of thing, that's exactly kind of what happens, you know. Like, so, I'm sorry, actually, to get the red line. Red line, by the way, is, do you know what the red line is?
What is the red line?
The red line is something the Germans use. I've just been actually during lockdown, you know that, but you guys don't. During lockdown, I've been in Germany the whole year. And I always find the Germans a bit like, I wouldn't say strange, but kind of German. You know, German, like,
Yeah, the German.
kind of square, and they're German, but they're actually not. They're so romantic. They're so romantic. They have like 5 things. There's 5 ways to say one simple thing. It's really incredible. It's so expressive.
I love it.
But anyway, the red line is something the German says when you're sitting with a friend and you're talking about something and you kind of forget where we started from, and someone said, "No, that's where you were." They call that person their red line.
Okay.
So you're like, "Oh, you're my red line." I'm not sure where it came from, but
Okay.
probably from a start, you know. It's where you
Yeah,
started
the
from.
beginning.
Anyway, we were talking about the rock and roll thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, just saying that. I think every morning, just waking up, and I don't really have a fuel to anything, without sounding too much
That's fucking
There's no
Diplo.
fuel though. I know
I
it's
know
not
there's no
Diplo,
fuel. But I mean, it is a little,
depends on.
because I feel the same way also.
Yeah, there's no real fuel, but I mean, I know it's going to be an exciting day. I know it's going to be a beautiful day, or it's going to be a really shitty day, but shitty is still beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's
Whatever,
shitty.
it's going to be eventful. It's going to be something I learned from the day. And so, yeah, I mean, there's no real fuel, to be honest.
If anybody
It's just
wants,
loving and living,
to fill this fuel tank,
Yeah,
please
it's
holler
loving
at-
and living, though. Also, like having said that, maybe that's a little bit harsh. I think it depends on which project I'm working on and what I'm working on at that specific time.
Speaking about it, what are you working on at the moment? What are you working on? And another thing, I want you to tell everyone where they can find you. So
Okay.
first start, what are we working on at the moment? Tell us everything.
Everything? Okay, so at the moment now we're in a little bit, or at least I'm in a little bit of a grey stage. Well, obviously we're working on this, which is lovely. It's really nice that Candace is actually back in the country, guys. If I tell you, she's been away for so many years. We will get to this in another episode, but just a short little vibe. Candace and I have been friends for so many years, like 12, even
15.
longer,
I
15
think I was
years.
16,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, I was-
Oh, don't tell you, 16. I'm
I
not
was
a
legal.
guitarist. I'm
I
not a
was
bass
legal.
legal. Yeah.
I was legal.
Anyway, that's
But not that
not
anything
no,
happened.
exactly.
We are like, yeah.
Hey, feet in the mouth. But anyway, it's really lovely to have her back around.
Sorry
Because,
for
yeah, I
the
know.
second.
Oopsie.
Okay, let's do a little.
And yeah, it's just really lovely to have. Start again, one more time. Yeah, so Candace is finally back in town, and it's really lovely to have her around again. And it's also awesome to know that even though friends have been abroad and doing their own thing, that when they come back, we still have that link, you know. And when I met Candace years ago, we didn't really have an artist link. We were more just friends, and it was more the Joel link, you know, Jolene.
Yeah, I was like, I
How'd
don't
we
even remember
go?
that guy.
Yeah. So it's really, I mean, so to answer your question, what we're working on, we will get back to Candace, the guys. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I mean, we're working on this now. So we've got an artist now. We've got, I mean, the same kind of.
So we're starting a community platform. We strongly believe there's so much talent in South Africa, but unfortunately, there's more ego than people willing to contribute to the culture. So honestly, what it is a platform for everyone to recognize we are for the music. It's not about what do I look like, what do I make. It's more about getting back to the basics of music and understanding why we do art. You know, it's not as frivolous as people make it out to be, and we can do so much better if we're a community that stands together instead of divided.
For sure, and then I mean. That's exactly it. From you being away or been traveling for the last 10 or 12 years, it must be quite a shock to get back here, because I felt that, I mean, not that I don't travel. I mean, I've
you've
also
been
for the
out the
last
same.
7 years or 8
Babe,
years,
what are
I'm
you
also,
saying? Yeah, you
but
out.
at least I'm doing like 6 months or 6 to 8 months, and then I'm here usually for the season as well. So I'm still performing here, so I still really feel and see it. I see the divide, and I see the ego taking over, and I see this, and it's really harsh because I see it from friends who I've grown up with and artists who I've grown up with.
And that the fact that it's an artist doing that
and
is
there's no
shocking.
sense.
Yeah,
Like,
it makes
and
no sense. Yeah.
And for them also, like to see that they don't realize it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just become a hustle, maybe.
No, but I also feel like, you know what? I feel like because it's so cliquey, Dom, don't you feel like because it's so cliquey, it's also a thing of like, people are very against each other because they're cliquey. They're like, oh, but are we going to do this? But we're going to do this. But why can't everybody come together and collectively do something? Or at least the other thing I've realized is people don't truly support each other. And maybe it's just because I've been here for a short time. But I see a lot more of, and I'm talking in the electronic space, seeing that people don't support each other. Like I'll never see another artist promote another artist's track or anything like that. And I mean, that's so small. What's it to share a story for your mate putting out a tune?
But do you find that's only South African?
No, I find it, no. So
That's general. That's
no,
yeah.
it is general, but people at least have respect for others.
Sure.
Here, I'm hoping that with the honest conversation, people will realize that you are uptight for no reason and that it's about the music. And it's not like with total peace and love, with peace and love to everybody listening here. It's about bringing the community
for
together
sure.
and not
For
being
sure.
divided. The only way to bring it together is to understand what are we doing wrong.
I mean,
Let's
it's
fix it.
but yeah, but I mean, that's also kind of fairy tale. Unfortunately, a fairy tale kind of thinking. You know, there are so many different artists. There's so many different DJs.
There's
I
so
mean,
much
especially
talent.
now, let's say since the late 90s. Even before that, they were all there. But since the late 90s, when there's some digital platform and the internet, the World Wide Web, which is incredible, but also having said that, as a musician, I fucking hate the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
I feel that artists around the world who are really good at what they do are getting shut out or not seen anymore because youngsters who are coming up
And
have
that
the
have
know-how.
the time and
They have
have
the know-how.
and the time.
Yeah,
babe,
I
it's
didn't
time
grow up with a
consuming.
cell phone in my hand.
Imagine you TikToking.
Yeah, at 4 years old. If at 14 years old you've been TikToking since you're born, when you turn 12, if you're singing a song, the whole world knows your song because you know exactly how to throw it and where to put it.
Exactly.
You know, and there's artists that are losing out on that. So I mean, to come
The
back to your
wave has
point,
changed.
yeah, the wave is completely different. To come back to your point about why maybe musicians aren't looking out for each other is purely that, you know, like now I've worked so hard to be at this place at this point. If I all of a sudden now get this break, why would I share anything, you know?
But you know, the thing is,
It's the mentality because everything's there already. You've seen, your friends have already shared everything.
yeah, but it's like, babe, it's like, you know, the space is big enough for everybody.
For
and
sure.
I feel like that a lot of people forget that the space, the entertainment space, is big enough for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And listen, I completely agree with you. I'm just, when I say these kind of things, I'm trying to think from their perspective or their point of view.
Well, I hope we
'Cause I
can
also
change
don't get
their
it.
no, but I also hope we can change their perspective because there's no point trying to fight a conglomerate company like
No,
TikTok.
sure.
You know what I mean?
No, sure.
Let's
We're not
just
fighting.
bypass
No,
that.
exactly.
I mean, all good. We love TikTok stars. Totally
And
reach
it's
out to
not
us. Take our
TikTok.
songs. Put TikTok on.
But it's not. TikTok
Put our
are great.
music. Put
Yeah,
our
TikTok
music
are
and
great.
tag us on your
Please, yeah,
TikTok,
yeah.
please, 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 please. Any
Yeah.
influencer on TikTok, I am your person. Get hold of me.
TikTok it. Oh,
We'll
we do it.
send
Yeah,
our
we do it.
tracks.
Yeah, we'll
TikTok
do
this
it.
shit to our tracks and make us famous.
Yeah, I mean, it's not TikTok though, isn't it? It's not, and it's not the web. I can't say I hate the web.
It's many
It's
things.
people. It's humans.
Yeah.
It's just a human thing. Like we are selfish.
I think no, it's instant
Yeah,
gratification.
and
remember,
but
we're very selfish.
we're
I
selfish,
agree.
and
It's terrible.
the world around us is making us more and more kind of selfish and greedy.
and
But
hard.
we can change it.
And
yeah.
we're also everyone's a hard. We're not hard. It's
No,
hard.
we're not.
We hug.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
To
Yeah.
share some love in the studio.
Yeah, it's a very it's quite a sore subject for me, you know.
I know it is. But onto lighter things. We have two options. Number one, you either sing us a song and play some guitar. Or I think you should do that regardless. And number two, where can everybody find you and what are your hashtags? If people want to find your music, your content.
Okay, so I mean, Dom Benigno's pretty much the base one. So that's DOMBENIGNO, which I'm sure we'll put
And we'll put
on the line
everything.
anyway. And I guess, yeah, that's like we said earlier with all the aliases. That would be the easiest way just to get hold of me.
What about sound language and everything else?
Yeah, that's another, if you want to know about sign language, that's
Yeah,
another thing. So
I feel
we're
like it's
also gonna
another
label,
episode altogether.
There's a whole bunch, you know.
But just-
Hopefully we'll be doing this together often. But I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, we've got a label as well called Sound Language with my brother and also my childhood friend. Not that kind of friend, childhood friend. But anyway, yeah, we've started a label. I mean, we've been playing together for years. We've been friends for almost, I won't say actually, but plus 30 years. 30 years or so. It's going on 30-year reunion.
Bottom 30s.
Yeah, bottom 30 years. But yeah, so Sound Language is obviously one of the main artists we've been with, so you can check us out on Sound Language. We also do a podcast and radio show as well in the weeks, which you'll find out online with plenty different, 2 or 3 different servers or 2, 3 different companies.
Your radio show.
Yeah. But yeah, which radio show? Yeah. Well, just check it out.
Every
guys.
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, 12 till 3 o'clock.
On?
Allowed to say that, so if you guys could read Candice's lips, that's what she said. If you couldn't, sorry, we cut that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can just catch me. I mean, I'm sorry it's so vague. I mean, sorry, not sorry. But I mean,
Sorry, not sorry.
I can't do something and I can't explain to you what I've done in 30 minutes. But it's a lot. And you know what? The purest thing for me is, it really is about the music. I've played to audiences of over 100,000 people. And I've been on stage and I've had artists come next to me who I'm playing with, bumping me, saying, Dom, look up, bro. Because I've been so lost there and look up and had this like joy because I feed from that. It's not about there. It's just this. It's just
It's like
music.
it's like
It's like
atoms
this
just
thing
smashing
moving,
you.
you know. And the way I'm playing is it's not doesn't belong to me. It's ours. So you
I
know, so
love
it's just
that.
the. I can't really
love
explain it to you. It's music.
Oh, that I give a hug. So you got your COVID test, right?
Yeah, I've got it. I got
Okay,
it.
good. We're
Yeah,
negative. Thank goodness. Everyone, keep safe.
Yeah. Yes, please.
So, anything else you wanted to add?
No, guys. I mean, what can we say? Please tune into the show. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, please comment, like, and subscribe. Let us know if you like the show. Even if you don't like the show, press dislike so we know.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's any artists that you want us to interview.
Sure.
Let us know what's your favorite kind of music. Until next week, Dom, thank you so much.
Thanks,
I
baby.
love having you.
Thanks, guys. Love.
All right, guys, check you next week. Be safe, be good, and wear a mask. Bye. With peace and love.
Not bad, bro.
I think that was good.
Not bad.